Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here, and welcome back to some more Slay the Spire, where we are going to continue with the Silent. We'll eventually do some Ironclad runs as well, but the Silent is much more my speed. I prefer it. I'm going to try to slow down a little bit this time and just think through plays. It's a little bit difficult because this game, just the mechanics of it, just dragging cards out of your hand and throwing them at the enemy is so cathartic. It just feels so good to do it. But I'm going to try to resist that urge. Let's see. So we could get a random common relic. Upgrading a card doesn't seem worth it. We can transform 2 cards, not a fan of that. Or we can switch our starting relic for a random boss relic. Yeah, let's do that one. And we get Runic Dome. So we get an extra energy at the start of each turn, but we can no longer see enemy intents. So that's dangerous. We're going to have to do our best to remember what these enemies do now, because we're not going to be able to see whether they're planning to block or attack or whatever. We do want to hit as many elites as possible, and it looks like we can hit a total of 2 along this path here. We can go this way and get a campfire, question mark, hit 2 elites back to back, then another campfire, or we can go and hit a campfire and then an elite. That seems a little safer in case we do need to heal. Also, we could start on this side and just kind of crisscross there for getting extra question marks. Can we hit a shop doing this? Not really, unless we want it to be our second stop, which I don't think it's worth it. We'll just try to hit a shop on the 2nd floor. Or we could go this way, hit a shop here, but still that's only 1 combat, which these could be combats too. Go up through here. Yeah, I think we're going to try to hit as many question marks, and I guess we'll chance this shop too. So we'll go from here up over to here, hit the chest, go up through here, and then get our elites. Sounds like a plan. Let's do it. Alright, we got a jaw worm here. It's going to be attacking the first turn, I think, usually. So we're going to, and I'm not really for sure, but I think it attacks for like 10. So we'll strike, defend, survivor, and end the turn. See if we're correct here. Yep, attacking for 11. Okay, so we were close. And I can't remember what it does second, but we're definitely going to neutralize. We'll hedge with 1 defend. Well, we've got the 4 energy, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I probably missed a play on the first turn. Got to remember we've got the Runic Dome and have 4 energy instead of 3 now. So it did hit us again. Alright, so we can basically play everything, then defend and survivor. Having an extra energy on the first floor is just ridiculously good. You wouldn't think it would make that big of a difference, but it really does. We'll just play out everything here. 1 more attack and we've got this. Well, 2 more attacks now since it bellowed and buffed itself up. Thankfully, we drew them. Let's see what we get offered here. Dexterity potion, very good. So Flechettes is okay if we're a heavy skill-based deck. Deal 4 damage for each skill in our hand. Deflects, alright. It's 1 less block. It's 1 less block than our base defensive cards, but it's also 0 cost. Masterful Stab is quite good if you're in a deck that can empty its hand. And honestly, with the extra energy, I think there's a good chance we can make Masterful Stab work for us, so we're going to chance that. See what's at this question mark. Okay, so as you come to a dead end and begin to turn around, walls slam down from the ceiling, trapping you. 3 faces materialize from the walls and speak. Forget what you know, and I'll let you go. I require a change to see a new space. If you want to pass me, then you must grow. So we can remove a card, transform a card, or upgrade a card. I am for upgrading a card this early, and my go-to generally is neutralized. The extra weak is very good, especially on the silent early on, so we'll do that. Free upgrade is always nice, so we'll go here. Alright, another relic opportunity. As you make your way down a long corridor, you see a banana, a donut, and a box floating about. No, upon closer inspection, they are tied to strings coming from the holes in the ceiling. There is a quiet cackling from above as you approach the objects. What do? So we could heal. It's absolutely useless for us. We could up our max HP by 5. Almost useless for us. Or we can receive a relic and become cursed. Well, we're coming to a shop immediately after this, so we can remove the curse if we want to. And I'm for getting more relics. How about you guys? Right. Non-boss chests now also contain cards. That's moderately useful, I suppose. Let's go get rid of that curse, unless they're offering us a really cheap apotheosis. Alright. Well, I'm actually a pretty good fan of Prepared, especially the upgraded version, which lets you draw 2 and discard 2. That lets you cycle through your deck for what you actually need. Accuracy is great if you're in a Shiv deck, but right now I think our biggest concern is removing the curse, so we'll do that. And there's one of these artifacts, or relics, I often call them artifacts mistakenly, I haven't seen before, Bottled Lightning. Upon pickup, choose a skill card. At the start of each combat, this card will be in your hand. Oh, okay. So I've seen the attack version of that. I've never seen the skill version. Orichalcum is not super useful, and Bag of Preparation is okay. It's basically another Ring of the Snake, which is the silent starting relic. Let's just move on. Alright. And, I mean, we could go this way and hit the elite here, go up, and hit the elite here like that. That may be better for us, though we will miss some question marks. We would get another campfire. Not sure we actually need the campfire, though it's always nice to upgrade things. I think we're better off going these question marks and then hitting this elite, so let's do that. Okay, so this guy, again, offering us some gold, will become cursed with doubt. Doubt is not as bad a curse as regrets, but we're going to be stuck with that curse for a while. And we've already paid 75 to remove a card, so the next time it's going to cost 100, so this is only netting us 75 gold, so I don't think it's worth it. We're going to pass up this gold, especially since we don't have a shop coming up anytime soon. Alright, we don't know what these guys are doing, but in general I think this guy attacks and this does a status effect, which we're going to be able to play almost everything anyway. Let's go ahead and kill this one. We have 1 defend, so we'll do that and hit that one. Not really a lot of choice there. We could have just attacked all out, but we hedged in case it was attacking, and it was, so that was good. We're going to get to use our Masterful Stab here, I think. We'll neutralize. We're going to Survivor pitching the defend. Then we will strike and stab. Alright, Explosive Potion, that's fine, especially if we run into several enemies all at once. I am a big fan of Backflip, so I think we're going to go ahead and take that. And then we'll face this elite. Alright, we have seen this guy before. We get 3 turns to prepare, but we don't really have much going on here. We can empty our hand in Masterful Stab, so I think it's best for us to just go ahead and do that and get this combat started, since we don't have poison or dexterity or strength or anything to set up. So he was stunned that first turn, and now should be attacking. So we will want to backflip. Going to also Survivor and pitch a defend, and then we're going to unload our attacks. The neutralize is going to do some help to keep us from taking too much damage here. Got hit for exactly 13. That is awesome. And again, we get to Masterful Stab. So we will neutralize. Sadly, Masterful Stab doesn't work great with Survivor, because normally you would want to play Survivor last so you didn't have to discard the card. I think we're going to discard the Strike because I want the extra block just in case he's hitting us for 13 again, and then Masterful Stab for 15. And is attacking again, and exactly 13. Great. Working out excellently for us. Let's backflip, see if we can get some more attacks. We can. We do want one more. If he's attacking for 13 again, I think we can afford to take 3 here because we do need to deal some damage and kill him. Siphon Soul, so we're getting weakened, dexterity down, and strength down, which makes the fight a bit more difficult. So we're just going to unload everything here. You don't want to let this fight drag on too long because too many of these debuffs and you won't be able to finish it at all. Definitely going to be taking some damage here. Yep, taking 5. Alright. So, Masterful Stab is probably something we can't do unless we backflip into Survivor. And we did. So we will Survivor, pitching Strike. And actually we still can't get there, so Strike, Defend. Yep, 1 card short. In the turn, we shouldn't take any damage this turn, though. And just a few more hits and this Lagavulin should be dead. Well, no choice here at all. We've got a block and a bunch of strikes, so that's what we do. Maybe he's debuffing us, and he is. Great. No damage this turn. And if we get lucky, we can kill it. And we got a little bit lucky, so great. Survivor that away, defend, and stab for the win. Excellent. Only 7 damage through all of that seems good. Snecko Skull. So whenever we apply a poison, we apply an additional poison. So this is pointing us towards a poison build. So we will try to accommodate that, which means we probably want to go with Bouncing Flask. I'm more of a fan of the Noxious Fumes, but Bouncing Flask is a perfectly serviceable poison card, especially with Snecko Skull, so we'll take that. And you don't need a tremendous number of poison cards to make a poison deck work. Let's see. In fact, the Noxious Fumes card is perfectly fine in basically any deck as a one-of. Alright, these guys. Well, the Explosive Potion does not pop their defense, so we can kill this guy for sure. I think it's worth doing that, especially since there's a good chance we'll get a potion here shortly. Then we'll finish that guy off, and then just apply all of this block. Would love to get a blur or two to roll our block over. That's one of the premier cards for Silent. And we should be able to kill this guy now, even through the armor, and we do. Excellent. Rack up a little gold. And there is Blur. Outmaneuver's also fine, especially the upgraded version, which nets you even more energy. Again, Deflect. Not a great card if you end up with the artifact. Though if you end up with the relic Unceasing Top, which lets you draw a card whenever your hand's empty, these zero-cost cards are incredibly good. Blur is definitely our choice, so we're going to take that. And then we do want to hit another Elite, and 2 Campfires so we can get an extra upgrade seems to be the thing to do too. Let's head this way. We've got 26 gold, Art of War. If we do not play any attacks during our turn, we get an extra energy next turn. That's useful for setting up really good damage turns. And then we've got Backflip or Deflect. I don't think Accuracy is worth taking. We don't have any Shiv synergies yet, and Backflip is just great. Alright, another relic, please. Among the stone and boulders, you notice an intricate large blue statue resembling a wing. You find gold spilling from its cracks. Maybe there's more inside, so we can remove our card from our deck and lose 7 HP. Or, since we have an attack that does 10 damage or more, we can gain 50 to 80 gold. And I think that's what we want to do. With all our might, we hack away at the statue. It soon crumbles, revealing a pile of gold. You grab as much as you can and continue onwards. Alright, up to here. So when we kill these guys, we get vulnerable for 2 turns. And again, we don't know which one of these is attacking or status affecting or whatever, but we can do all the stuff in our hands. So we will blur to roll over our block. We will survivor and pitch a defend. Hopefully 13 is enough. We will strike and almost kill this one and end our turn. We may take a little damage here. Nope, this one is buffing. And we get to keep 7 block for the next turn. So what is our play here? We've got 4 energy. We've got 5 cost worth of cards. Well, we definitely want to kill this one, even though it's going to apply vulnerable to us. And that means we want to neutralize this one. And we're going to go ahead and backflip, even though we're almost certainly just going to Bouncing Flask here. It does the same amount of block as this and gives us more options. Yep, we're going to Bouncing Flask. So with our Snecko Skull, this should be 12 poison. Awesome. And when you upgrade that card, it does it 4 times. And they are pretty much dead. Yep, all we need is a strike and end the turn. Feeling pretty good about this build so far. So, Crippling Poison is good with our Snecko Skull. The Weak is also awesome. Blade Dance is more of a shiv card. Quick Slash is great too. Deal 8 damage, draw a card. That's just better in every way than our basic attack. But since we are on poison, I think 1 crippling poison is totally reasonable, especially since we've got the 4 energy. It's easier to make these higher cost cards work for us. We could maybe even get some other relics that add to our energy. Well, we definitely want to go this way. Alright, well, no thinking here. Just play it all out, and this one's the easier one to kill. So we'll do damage there first. Shouldn't have anything get through, though we are becoming weak, dealing less damage this next turn, sadly. Well, again, we can just play everything, doing 4 damage, so we have to play everything to kill this. Sadly, because we're weak, normally 2 strikes would do it. That is not the case this time. Alright, taking no damage, which is great for us. And now we could double up on our poison. I think that's probably a bad idea. What we're going to do is backflip. Then we will survivor because it gives us more block. We'll discard that. And I think the crippling poison is our better play here because of the 3 weak. Will set us up for the rest of this combat. Yep, buffing up, so thought it might attack there, but it didn't. Alright, well, backflip. Backflip. Thing to note too, we got an extra energy there because we played no attacks last turn. So 10. We actually probably do want 1 more defend if we're wanting to avoid taking damage. Even through the week, he did buff his strength by 3. Then we'll Bouncing Flask. And that should be the end of this. We do have to wait a couple of turns for him to die, but it should be over fairly quickly here. Now that we've got the Snecko Skull, it would be awesome if we could also get the Specimen to transfer poison. And again, we got an extra energy because we played no attacks. Sadly, we don't have what we need to actually kill him here, so have to wait an extra turn. At least we're not taking any damage. And no need to even do anything. The poison's going to get it. There we go. Still would not mind to pick up a Noxious Fumes. We didn't get it. Honestly, not a fan of Poison Stab. It is better than the regular attack because it does more damage overall. It'll do 5, then 3 poison, 2 poison, 1 poison. So Dagger Spray's okay for the AoE, especially since we don't have any noxious fumes yet. I guess Poison Stab's even better though, since we have Snecko Skull. So I guess I don't mind taking one. I'm normally just not a fan of this card, but sure. And yeah, we definitely want to do upgrades. So let's smith. And I think our first upgrade, since we already have our Neutralize upgrade, is going to be Bouncing Flask, because it's going to do 16 poison. Seems good to me. And then we'll fight ourselves another elite. Hopefully we can get through this with not much damage, so that we can afford to upgrade again. He always applies his Enrage buff the first turn, so we can afford just to attack all out. Then after he becomes enraged, every non-attack card we play will give him 2 strength. We do have a fire potion if we need it to do 20 damage. It's kind of a shame. He is a bad one to run into when you are on a skill heavy build like this. I think it's worth it to do our flask here. It's going to just do a ton of damage. He did gain the strength there. Sure, he is attacking. Is it worth it to block? It's going to be dead in like 3 turns from the poison plus this. And yeah, I don't want to take damage if I can help it. Was hoping to draw a Neutralize. Probably should have double backflipped if that was the case though. Alright, so 18, he's at 42. This will not get the job done, though. There, so half health. That means we can throw this, and then end the turn, and we get out of it at almost full health. Awesome. Regal Pillow, heal an additional 15 points when we rest. I mean, that's great, but we're not going to be resting because we're awesome. So Cloak and Dagger is okay. Acrobatics is good. Will help us maybe get to our poison cards quicker. Will also combo well with the Art of War for extra energy. Yep, let's take an Acrobatics. And then here, where we will not be resting, but upgrading again. So we could upgrade Masterful Stab to 20 damage. We could upgrade Crippling Poison to 5 and 5. Upgrade Acrobatics to 4 cards. Upgrading Backflip just adds 3 block. I mean, it's okay. Upgrading this adds 3 block as well. I think we're going to go with the poison. Just get more poison out of this. We'll upgrade there. And which boss is it? Hexaghost? Alright, Hexaghost shouldn't really be a problem with this build. Hexaghost is fairly susceptible to poisoning. So let's backflip, draw ourselves some cards. Alright, so Crippling Poison and Poison Stab, get this ball rolling. Yep. Get all set up there, so now we do have to block a little bit. Neutralize helps. Well, with our extra energy, we'll just be doing it all. Passing the turn. And our deck's small enough that we could be cycling through and applying our poison multiple times. That was a big attack. Shouldn't be another gigantic attack for a while, though it's good to be safe. We'll backflip, we'll defend, and we'll Bouncing Flask. This fight shouldn't take too long at all, honestly. Alright, putting a burn into our deck. Blur is good to see. Well, Bouncing Flask again, so we'll definitely do that. We'll go ahead and blur and defend. We'll get 1 strike off, sure. If we can get this guy before he lights up or turns 4 of his flames green, that would be awesome. Alright, for sure, Crippling Poison. Keep that weak and poison flowing. We'll go ahead and backflip. And Survivor. Doesn't really matter what we pitch. We can't really play anything else. And we're getting close. Alright, sadly the burn is there. We do want to defend. We'll poison stab for the extra poison there. Just play everything out. We're going to take some damage this time. Doesn't really matter though, we heal after this. And that is that. Again, this felt like a really good first floor. Hopefully we don't flub it up again on the second floor. So after image is great. Whenever we play a card, gain a block, especially good with blurs if we can get 1 or 2 more of those. Corpse explosion's okay. Enemy loses all poison, deal damage equal to twice the amount lost to all enemies. Not a super big fan of this either. I am of after image though, so let's grab that. See what we get offered. Probably ectoplasm. We've got enough gold to buy at least something at a shop or remove some cards. Going up to 5 energy seems awesome. The more energy we get, the better. Lizard Tail's okay. When we die, we would heal to 50%. It works once. Or Ori, choose and add 5 cards to your deck. No, I think this is pretty much a no-brainer. It's going to be ectoplasm. And now we are at the city, and it's Champ at the end, which is not a bad boss. But we will get to that in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, let me know in the comments, and by leaving a like below, it really does help tremendously. And of course, subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. I have been Tevaron, and until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.